Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, my name is Paul Dean Wilhour, and I currently live in Surprise, Arizona. And we are hopefully spending the afternoon celebrating the life of our friend Chuck Wilson. So I thought I would try to get dressed up a little bit for the occasion, and hope I'm not overdressed. But here to put a little fun and humor into the whole program, hopefully. Chuck and I became good friends in high school, junior high and high school, because having a last name beginning with W, we were lucky enough to be assigned a homeroom from 7th grade to our senior year, and so we got to know each other quite well. And some of our other common high school friends was Danny McCormick and Dave Bryan, who we both lost recently to cancer. Other friends were Jack Mazzotti and Roy Davis. Chuck's mother and my mother became really good friends through PTA, which is Parent Teachers Association. And this provided me the opportunity to be invited and permission to spend the night with Chuck. And for those of you who don't know or didn't know, Chuck's father was a very successful real estate agent in Taylorville, and they had built a beautiful ranch-style home on West Main, which was probably one of the nicest homes in Taylorville at the time. And spending the night, we visited downstairs, which was fully finished. Of course, the basement was fully finished, and Chuck's father had a bar down there. So I will have to admit that that was the very first time alcohol ever crossed these lips. Chuck was a city boy, and I grew up on a farm on Buckeye Prairie outside of Wawanaco, which was a much different lifestyle. And Chuck and another one of my high school friends, Dave Dawson, both come and spent the night on the farm with me. The major attraction to both of these young men was the fascination of throwing cow patties at each other, and you really scored if you hit your opponent. I have to believe that perhaps this was the original design of the current Frisbee. When we turned 16, of course, everybody was anxious to drive, and Chuck, on his 16th birthday, received a 1956 two-door hardtop Chevy, bright red, and it was absolutely a beautiful, beautiful car, and everybody just drooled over it. But I personally had a 1951 primer gray Henry J with Ford flathead in it, and it had reverse rims and baby moons. I was quite proud of it. It was one of a kind, but it certainly didn't hold a candle to that 56 Chevy at Chuck's. A very memorable occasion with Chuck, too, was also our senior party, which was held at the Wilson cabin outside of Taylorville. And perhaps there was, somehow there was 2 kegs of beer there. And also, somehow the cops showed up. How they found out is beyond me. But I had a date with another class of 62, a young lady by the name of Tony Matthews, and we had a wonderful time that evening. 1963, I moved to California. So Chuck and I basically lost track of each other. But we would catch up every 5 years at the class reunions, and it was always fun catching up with Chuck, as he was a fun-loving guy and had a great sense of humor, and we truly enjoyed just laughing and carrying on about our times in high school and times that we hadn't seen each other. Chuck served in Vietnam, and we're all aware that PTSD and Agent Orange were not kind to anyone who experienced it, and both have destroyed many lives of those who served. But again, Chuck, thank you for your service. It was our 10-year reunion in 1972 that Chuck and Lynn Ann, both Taterville High School class of 62 grads, I got reacquainted and got married shortly thereafter. That provided them the opportunity to spend 45 years together, which is wonderful. 5 years ago at our 50-year class reunion, we became aware that Chuck was having health issues and realized that, knowing the seriousness of it, that both he and Lynn had an uphill battle on their hands. And speaking with Lynn since Chuck's passing has brought about a wonderful sense of comfort to me, and realize that Chuck has definitely at peace with the Lord, and he has mentored many and was always there to help those in need. Chuck truly loved his family. As we part from this celebration of life, I only ask one question of each of you, and I feel that Chuck would second this. Do you personally know Jesus Christ? If you do not, I would suggest that you begin today to build that relationship. I'm a Christian, not perfect by far, but forgiven. Prayers go out to Lynn Ann and the entire Wilson family. We will miss you, Chuck, and look forward to seeing you in heaven.